Hey guys, it's Julia. So today I have a What the Book for you guys, and it is on the one and only Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Now, first off, I'm just going to start off by saying I read this once and I did not like it at all. I thought it was like the first time I read Divergent. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't like good to me. I'm going to do the same thing I did with Divergent, and I'm going to read it again. So even though it took me a lot longer than it did reading it the first time, I reread it. So now I have to talk about this book. So basically, Insurgent is the second book in the Divergent trilogy, and it starts off basically right where Divergent left off, a balance of power between the two factions, Dauntless and Erudite. Instead of there being 5 different factions, they're all trying to get the others on their side, and basically those two hold the most power. And Tobias and Triss and a couple of their friends have fled. They want to seek help and like companionship with two of like the remaining factions, Amity and Candor. So basically they're on the run, and because there are people who are under simulation and can be like put under simulations at any moment, and basically that's really dangerous because it everyone except the Divergent are affected by it, and the Divergent obviously are in very bad danger. But Janine basically wants to make a simulation like injection that works with the Divergent, so she can control, and Erudite can control basically everyone in the world of this book, which would be bad because Janine is not a very good person. Another thing that goes down in this book is in Divergent. At the end of Divergent, Will, Triss's friend, was under a simulation and she shot him and killed him. And through this entire book, Triss struggles with the fact that she shot him and she killed him because she looks back on it and she's like, I could have just shot him in the hand. I didn't have to shoot him like in the chest. I didn't have to kill him, but I did. So she's going kind of through a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and she can't really shoot, like for a good part of the book, she can't use a gun, she can't hold a gun, she has a panic attack, she just can't do it. Also, Tobias and Triss go through some things, some trust issues, a couple of problems. There's a lot of making up and kissing, which is good, I think, because I like Tobias and Triss. And sorry if I'm looking down here, I am simply looking at my notes. So one thing that's nice about this book, and this has something to do with Triss and Tobias, is that usually in young adult novels, it's like, okay, so they're in the first book there's the one boy, they're in love, you know, in the second book they go through problems, sometimes boy number 2 comes along, usually boy number 2 comes along, and she falls in love with boy number 2, and book number 3 of the trilogy is her picking between boy number 1 and boy number 2. But in this book, the only person that Triss actually loves is Tobias. And even though things happen in this book, and maybe he doesn't completely trust her at some points, and she has to lie to him a lot, she still loves him, and she hates herself for having to do all these things that kind of compromise their relationship. But this is just kind of an outline of the book, because when I did my Divergent one, my friend the next day came up to me in school and was like, why'd you put so many spoilers in the Divergent book talk? And I'm like, so this time I tried not to spoil too much, obviously for someone who's watching this and has not read it yet. But this one was, it was not as good as the first one. Like, the first one had me sucked in and had me wanting to read it every minute, and the second one it was definitely good, but it wasn't as good as the first one. I found this one, some points were kind of very jumpy between some things, and I don't always like it when it's just like it jumps from one thing to another, like to a totally different thing. So my advice for people who read this series and don't like it the first time is read it again, because that's what I did and I really enjoyed it. I am excited to read Allegiant. I'm hoping it was better than Insurgent. Obviously, I've heard a lot of people say that it's better than Insurgent, so hopefully it'll be better than Insurgent. But yes, this is a very action-filled book filled with exciting things and relationship problems and simulations, and it ends on a cliffhanger. Spoiler alert. It's a perfect place to close the book, but it ends on a cliffhanger. But yeah, this one was definitely worth my time. That's how I'm gonna put it. It was definitely worth my time. I love you all very much, and I will see you soon. Bye.